What up, everybody? You are back in tune with another episode of In the Fields podcast. It is your host, Johnny, with my lovely wife, Lisa, and happy New Year's Eve. Yeah, man, we are wrapping up 2025 and we are getting into 2026. So we want to say happy almost New Year's to all the feelers that have been tuned in with us since the beginning of 2025. And yeah,
It's
man,
been almost a whole year already.
Heck yeah, man. We're almost a year in. I figured this episode we could start off with, instead of a weekly check-in, we could do like a yearly thankful check-in or like a yearly what am I proud of check-in. So yeah, man, I figured we could start this episode off with that. I feel like it kind of goes well with the whole New Year's theme, if you will.
You want to start us off this time?
Yeah, man. So I feel like for my yearly thankful check-in, I'm just thankful for the good things that have happened this year. You know, when I look back, oftentimes I feel like people, like, when they reflect back on the year, they only reflect on the bad things that happened. And I just don't want to be that way anymore. So, like, I'm really grateful for, like, obviously us getting married. Grateful for just experiences that I've had with friends and family. Grateful for the new food places we've tried. I'm grateful for the new journey that my son has started, and I'm happy to be a part of it. You know, helping him come up with like his comic manga thing, and yeah, I think I'm just most proud of how we've handled things this year. This year has been a big eye opener for our ability to apply what we do here on the podcast to our actual relationship, and like, just not just talking about it but being about it. So I think that's another thing I'm really proud of. Yeah, man. How about you? What do you think? What's your yearly thankful check-in, and what are you most proud of this year?
I mean, I would say like the same thing because I was somebody who always was just like, oh, this was the hardest year yet. Or, you know what I mean? But like when I look back, I'm like, honestly, like this was probably one of the best years of my life. The amount of times we've traveled, the new experiences we've had, just trying to be more active and like actually committing to doing stuff, going to shows, going out to try new food places, going to New York, going to Jersey, going on cruises, catching flights. Like traveling has been a big thing for me, and like the fact that we were able to, pull off of it as much as we have this past year, and even just planning into this next year of like already having stuff in the works for 2026 is exciting. But more so just learning more about myself. And although it could be considered a low, I look at it as a learning moment of like areas that I want to improve and like non-negotiables I want to set for myself going into 2026. Like I feel like it's a push for me of like, okay, but what else can I do? How much harder can I go? You know what I mean? So I think that's the biggest thing, is just the growth aspect that I've encountered this year, and just being more self-aware and more holding myself more accountable for things. And it's definitely us getting married. It's definitely up there.
Hell yeah, man.
So I can't complain. It's been a really good year.
Yeah, for sure. I like that, man. Yeah, I just think, oftentimes, like I said, people, they reflect on their year, and they often look for, just the things that didn't go well. And
those things can be heavy, so I get it.
I think it's good to adjust what it is you focus on and adjust that lens of life, so this way you just have a better perspective on it. And while we're all not perfect, and while we all may fall short in some areas in our lives, as long as we wake up, we have the opportunity to be better. And that's kind of like the mindset I want for 2026.
Samesies.
Oh yeah, man. Well, that was awesome, dude. I like that. And Obviously, before we get into our episode or to the rest of our episode, let's give them a word from our sponsors. Sounded like Blue's Clues.
It did.
You guys already know the vibes, baby. Ooh La Laid, the best lemonade in the entire world. Guys, I really don't have to talk too much about this. I'm going to keep it short, sweet, sweet, because you know, it's delicious. But I'm going to
And
keep it short and sweet,
refreshing.
guys. All natural ingredients, made with love, fresh squeezed, handcrafted. It is the bee's knees. Make sure you guys go follow them on Instagram at Ula_Laid. Once again, at Ula_Laid. Tell them Johnny and Lisa sent you. Until next time, guys. And back to our episode. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, with another episode of In the Feels
guys?
podcast. And happy New Year's Eve again to all the feelers who are tuned in. 2026 is coming up, man. And I feel like every year there's always like this desire to want to go into the new year with like some sort of
Screaming New Year, new me.
yeah, like some sort of like, you know, idea of like what we're going to do or what we're going to be and things of that nature, you know, and oftentimes we reflect on the year about not even the things that like were obvious, but sometimes the lessons that we didn't expect, you know, like sometimes the ones that you weren't anticipating are sometimes the best lessons that are learned. And, you know, I definitely think we can talk about that, you know, this year has taught us so many different things. I know like you were saying earlier, like, you know, holding yourself more accountable, being more self-aware and things of that nature. But if you had to really, you know, think about what this year has taught you, whether it was something you were striving for or striving to learn, or maybe it was an unexpected lesson that you learned this year, what do you think was 2025's core lesson?
That I have more resilience than I thought I did. I had the tendency of letting myself down quite often. And then when things, you know, wouldn't pan out or would become difficult, I would just give up on them. And like one thing, like being this podcast, like there have been moments it was hard. There have been moments where I'm like, I'm not really in the mood to do this. But I was resilient enough to push through to realize like the bigger picture of like how important this is to us and why we started it in the first place and like what we see in the future for like what we want and what we expect. And I know that like I have to push myself through those hard moments in order to even get there. And how am I supposed to get there if I'm just going to give up? You know what I mean? So like I think my resilience is one of the biggest lessons that I've learned this year, and definitely just learning and seeing other areas in my life that still need to be worked on and like other areas that I still need to grow and push through, but it's getting there. And it's nice. It's nice finding that strength to just power through and it not be like a negative thing or looked at as a negative thing.
Oh yeah, I like that.
How about you?
Oh, my turn. All right. My bad. We awkward silence. Yeah. I mean, for me, I think the biggest thing that this year taught me was just that, like, consistency is more valuable than intensity. So, like, I just mean that, like, being consistent, even if it's like with little things, is like sometimes more important than doing like one big thing or like something that is like extravagant or over the top. So it's like, you know, whether it's your relationships, like those consistent little things kind of, you know, have more value than like one big nice thing. You know what I mean? Or
I feel that.
consistency as far as like, you know, being okay with the small wins and not necessarily needing major gratification instantaneously. Like, I'm okay with the small little wins. Like, as of recent, you've seen me super excited to help Jonathan with his like comic and manga thing, and like, getting sketches back,
You've
or
been super locked in.
coming up with like, a different part of the story or different character design, and working with Jonathan to design the shoes and things of just that nature. Like, again, those little tiny wins, those little hints of consistency that just pay off versus doing something that is like extravagant or big. So like, I've just been really kind of locked in on that. It's just, like the small things, the small little chipaways at the goals like also matter.
I love that.
So yeah, that's been really big for me. And
I'm really big on the little things. So
yeah, I
get
think
that.
that's also probably part of where I get that from, is just like,
I'm rubbing off on you.
well, yeah, you learn that. You learn when you're in a relationship from your partner, you know what I mean? I think like you start to learn to appreciate different things because you start to look at them from the perspective of your partner. So I
Like
feel like
that.
sometimes that like can definitely be something that happens within the relationship, and I think that's probably part of the reason why, again, like the consistency for me has been something that has become more important, I guess, to me, and has been like kind of like one of my biggest lessons for this year, for sure.
I like that.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, dude. And I think like, when it comes to learning these lessons, and I think everybody has their own thing that teaches them, something in the previous year or the year that we've experienced. I'm sure we've all learned something or experienced something that has kind of shifted the way we see things or the perspective that we have. And that kind of results in, leaving a version of ourselves in 2025 as we go into 2026. Oftentimes people say like new year, new me. And while that is very cliche of a statement, it's also true, because experience shapes you. So it's like,
Yeah.
when you go into 2026, what version of yourself are you leaving behind in 2025? What do you envision for Lisa in 2026? What does that version of Lisa look like?
I would definitely say stronger because, like, one of my biggest things is, like, as I look back and reflect, like, there's definitely a part of me that I've taken through every year where it's, like, one thing that I don't want to bring into 2026 is making excuses. Like, my biggest excuse is, oh, well, it's just too hard. Or, like, I can't figure it out. And instead of saying that, like, I could just put in the work to just figure it out. But instead, I'm like, you know what I mean? I forgot what I was going to say.
You're talking about being stronger this year, or coming up a stronger version of yourself in 2026.
Yeah, because, like, one of the biggest things that, like, I've noticed, like, reflecting back is, like, I just have made excuses a lot in the past. And, like, I don't want to do that this year. Like, I really want to, as we enter the new year, make a list of, like, all the important things that I really do need to just figure out and get it taken care of. So I could just start knocking them off the list and just, like, have my priorities really in order. I really want to get back in school. I want to get back on, like, my studying and researching. Like, I don't know what happened along the last year, but, like, I completely fell off of that. And it's definitely something that I miss. And it's something that, like, I can feel affecting me because, like, that was a big part of me. And now it's like I'm not active in it. So, like, that's something that I definitely need to, like, lock in and get back involved with and, like, really push towards my goals that I had set for myself, because there was a bunch of side quests happening this year, I feel like, that kind of just, like, steered me away from that. And, like, I need to find my way back to that path to get back on it. So definitely just, I can't be making no more excuses going into this year. And I really have to be locked in. And, like, my biggest thing is I really just want to move with intention. Like I want to set like a strict routine schedule for myself and like really work on these like slow mornings and just like pour more into myself, give back to myself. Like I know I have to work and be an adult and be a mom and but I know there's somewhere in there time for me and I just have to figure out where that is.
Yeah.
That would be my biggest thing for definitely going into 2026 and leaving other certain aspects behind in 2025
Yeah. No.
just to shape that growth a little bit more.
Oh yeah, no, I love that. I definitely love that vision for yourself too, because I see you always kind of like taking strides towards that. So, love that.
Thanks.
I love that for you, baby.
How about you?
For me, I think the version of myself that I'm leaving behind in 2025 is the version of myself that always chose peace for others and chaos for myself. Like, I'm just tired of, like, needing to figure it out for other people, I feel like, or, being
I love that for you.
the fucking, like, always 100% fucking available, can never say no to people, willing to sacrifice my peace or be uncomfortable just so somebody else could be okay.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a selfish way. It's just I am now going to start choosing my own peace needs to be prioritized.
Yeah, because when are you okay?
But also,
You
it's
know?
like when I'm not prioritizing my peace, it's directly affecting those around me. So while I may be helping somebody outside of these four walls, when I come back and my peace is disrupted, it's like the only people who really feel it are my family. So it's like it doesn't make sense for me to be ensuring someone else's peace if it's gonna cost me if it costs me my peace, it's too expensive. So, yeah, I think that's like the part of myself that I want to leave back in 2025. Not even trying to be mean or be rude or be on some selfish shit, but just like, I'm just tired of not making sure I'm okay.
Well, yeah, sometimes you just have to put yourself first, and that is okay to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, man. It's hard to feel that way, you know?
I know.
Especially when a lot of the time it's like,
You've been like that for as long as I've known you, though.
well, it's hard because I don't know if it has to do with just being a man or just being maybe the type of person that I was raised to be, but I just feel like sometimes like oftentimes like your value correlates, or at least the perspective that I've always had is that like your value correlates to like how well you can take care of those around you. So it's like oftentimes when I feel like I can't come through for people, it's a reflection of my value, or it like devalues me as a person. And
So just changing your outlook on that, basically.
yeah, like
It's
I
like, I
think
don't think it.
yeah, I don't think it makes me a shitty person for not
No.
having the space for everybody all at once. Like that's the mentality that I kind of have to put myself in, because like, you want to be like, you want to be able to put the world on your back,
Yeah.
but that's fucking painfully draining.
Not realistic.
It's just painfully draining to the point where it can cost you more than it's worth. So, yeah, I think that's
I love that for you.
definitely the energy I want to leave back in 2025, or the person of myself that I'd love to leave back in 2025, because I think the person in 2026 that I aspire to be, or that I envision myself being, is a person who has prioritized himself and is taking the strides constantly to be the version of myself that I want to be for myself, for my family, and just, continue to pour into my cup, man. That's it. Reading the books I want to read. And, that's like a big thing that I was really proud of that I started this year, was just like reading, It's not like something that I'm big on.
Mm-mm.
I get a lot of my information via audio or video. And so, like, to really be holding, like, text and, like, reading it and absorbing it and highlighting things, like,
Even just making time for it.
yeah, I usually bring it with me to work. So it's like, I don't know. But yeah, that's definitely the version of myself I'd leave in 2025 and the version of myself I aspire to be in 2026 for
I
sure.
love that.
Oh yeah, man. Let me see. What else are we getting into here? I know that we are again in that new year, new vibe type of vibes for this episode. And I definitely want to segue into not a New Year's resolutions, but instead of resolutions, like intentions. Like I think I ended what I was saying, like who I aspire to be in 2026. Like my intention is to be someone who takes his peace more seriously. Like my intention is to be someone who prioritizes himself and doesn't critique himself in a way that makes himself feel bad for doing so. Like it should be okay to take care of myself. I should be okay to not have space for everybody all at once and, without giving myself such a hard fucking time about it.
That's like I said, just going into this year, moving with more intention. Like really having good intent behind the decisions that I'm making.
Yeah.
Maybe spend a little bit more time thoughtfully thinking my plans out before just being like, well, this is what I should do, so I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
Like I should really consider it more and really evaluate the decision before I just jump right in head first. Like, sure. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's a really big thing because I feel like when I do just quickly make a decision and just jump right into it, I feel like a lot of time doesn't go the way that I expect it to. And then like looking back, I'm like, well, had I just thought about it a little bit more, like considered these other options along with it, like it might have gone better.
Yeah.
So definitely just moving with more intent, like intentional decision making, like overall in life,
Yeah.
I feel like would be nice to try.
Yeah. Like I said, not so much as a resolution, but really just intention, just, my goal is to just have that mindset shift, not looking at things or not focusing on the things that I can't control, and
That's a big one.
and just really honing in on adjusting my focus accordingly. Look for the things that I want and stop looking for the things that I don't want, and stop complaining about the things that I don't have and be grateful for the things that I do have. Like that's just kind of how I want to moving forward.
I like that.
Oh yeah, man. Well, before we send them home, you guys know the vibes. We're going to leave you guys with a question, one that you guys can answer in the comments below if you're watching this on YouTube or if you see us on your socials, because you never know when the why in your story is silent and it becomes our story. And the question we want to leave you guys with is, how do you want to feel this upcoming year? Drop it in the comments below. Until next time, guys, keep feeling,
keep sharing,
and keep it real within the feels.
feels.
Happy New Year's,
Woo!
baby!